Hollywood and the four corners of the world. You asked for it. Starring Rich Little. Here's the star of You Asked For It, Rich Little.
Thank you, and welcome to the only show on television that goes anywhere in the world just because you asked for it. Tonight, a king of the wilderness battles to survive. Dutch bicycles that play music, a bizarre ritual of death in Bali, and much more. But first, the grizzly bear, the largest and most fearsome of all bears. He spends his life fighting for the survival in the wilds of Alaska. And Jack Smith shows us the grizzly's battles against wolves and his own kind, and some of the most remarkable wildlife action ever captured on film. David J. Searless of Milton, Wisconsin, you asked for it.
It's summertime and the living is easy, especially for these bear cubs born last winter and not yet weaned. Summertime is fishing time here in Alaska. In late summer, the salmon start their run upriver to spawn, and there's nothing a bear likes more than salmon. Bears from all over gather in the river rapids, but it's not a social occasion. Bears are not social animals. They live alone. They gather here strictly for the good fishing. The cubs don't hesitate to go into the water. They're natural swimmers. But they seldom wander far from mother. They'll stay with her for 2 summers before they go off on their own. Intelligence tests show that bears are smarter than wolves, foxes, or coyotes. They're certainly smart enough to know the best fishing spots and to fight over them. But when it's a mother bear protecting a possible dinner for her cubs, not even the larger male bear wants to argue. When mother makes a catch, she shares it with her cubs. The cubs almost always come in pairs. Seagulls always show up when the bears are fishing. The gulls scramble for the leftovers. Wintertime in Alaska is a different story. Food is hard to find. And even a hibernating bear may wake up with a hunger for a midwinter snack. This hungry grizzly has been following a pack of wolves for miles. He knows they'll find a meal. And guess who's coming to dinner? The uninvited guest chases the wolves away, but not without an argument. It's a one-sided argument because the grizzly bear is one of the world's most formidable land predators. Up to 9 feet tall standing upright, weighing as much as 1,500 pounds, he can kill a buffalo with one blow of his steel-clawed paw. And he wants this deer carcass. The wolves try to bluff, but keep a respectful distance. Part of the grizzly's great strength is believed to be due to his summer diet of salmon. But summertime or wintertime, he not only survives, he prevails. And we saw it because you asked for it.
Hiya, folks. This is the bear with the snappy jokes, Fozzie Bear. Listen, I could teach that bear a few tricks about survival. I haven't spent my whole life in show business for nothing.
Next from Holland, bikes that carry a tune. We'll be back.
And now back to Rich Little.
If you think that riding a bike without hands is tricky, try doing that at the same time you're playing a tuba. Sounds like some kind of a contest, right? Well, not in Friesland, Holland, where a passion for bicycles and music has produced a one-of-a-kind brass band mounted on bikes. So find a place on the street and get ready for the blood-stirring music and daring bicycle routines of the Opendi Band. Your reporter is Tony Thomas, and you're on the scene for this Dutch treat because John Bockham of Salinas, California, you asked for it.
The Crescendo Bicycle Band started as an April Fool's Day joke back in 1973. It was an immediate success in its hometown of Openda, Holland, and its popularity has been growing ever since. Today, it is world-renowned. The band numbers 40 members. It includes both men and women, and the members' ages range from 14 to 65. It brings in about $45,000 a year, which it plows back into instruments, uniforms, and travel expenses. To perform successfully as the bicycle band does, the members not only have to be talented musicians, but first-rate bicycle riders. It's not a game for people who can't walk and chew gum at the same time. One wrong turn and we'll hear more than those cymbals crashing. In order to play and ride at the same time, some of the band members have modified handlebars and have learned to steer with their elbows. The band usually rehearses once or twice a week and gives about 35 performances a year all over Europe. It performs at everything from motorcycle races to music festivals, and every 2 years it works up an entirely new act. Today's performance is very special. It's being done exclusively for You Asked For It. One of the group's most requested numbers is their rendition of Viva España. They perform it while riding their bicycles in a choreographed dance-like manner, which would even make Busby Berkeley jealous. And just for You Asked For It, the Crescendo Bicycle Band of Holland will reveal its newest and most daring number, the Wonderful Rock Machine. It takes a lot of brass to live down being an April Fool's Day joke, but nobody ever accused the bicycle band of not having a lot of brass, or a lot of talent either. We want to thank the members of the band for sharing with us their unique talent. And you, John Bockham, was...
ho, 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 this is Bing Crosby. You know, that gives me an idea for a new picture with Bob Hope. On the road with a tuba and 76 glockenspiel. Well, now here's Jack Smith again with another golden goodie from the past. Here's Jack.
You remember when King Kong climbed to the very top of the Empire State Building? He held on to something up there and he fought off all those airplanes. Well, that was fantasy, but this is a fact. There were men back in the 1950s who climbed even higher, to the very tip top of what was then the tallest building in the world to fix the TV antenna. And they weren't trying to ape King Kong. They were just doing their job. Let's watch. The Empire State Building in New York City. We went farther than most people are ever allowed in order to keep a very important date. Meet George Kretschmar and Hugh Mullen. Up they go, starting an early morning climb that'll take them to the top of a man-made world. Suddenly, at the 105th floor level, daylight. They'd reached the actual base of the 275-foot antenna. There was our objective, rising majestically from the concrete jungle below. The men were not yet in sight. At the base, there was plenty of climbing room. Up here, it narrowed to a bare 3 feet square. Suddenly, 60 feet from the very top, George and Hugh were on the outside, climbing corner spikes, relying on only one safety device, their bare hands. A fantastic view of the city, but there's no time to enjoy it. You're at the very top now, looking down on the warning light that tops the tower 525 feet above street level. There's a lightning rod to stand on. Safety belt is useless. There's nothing to hook onto but thin air. Height isn't the only danger. Once broadcasting starts, they have to retreat almost halfway down or face 20,000 volts of electricity. For George and Hugh, it's just another day's work. In all kinds of weather, these are the guys that ensure perfect broadcasting conditions. Like bugs, they cling to the antenna, replacing burned-out cables, checking the pressurized power lines, fighting the constant battle against rust and corrosion. Special footwear? Not at all, just ordinary street shoes. And there's plenty of fresh air. In fact, a constant breeze anywhere from 25 to 80 miles an hour. George and Hugh, it's as simple as sitting at a desk or climbing a kitchen ladder. To you and me, they're two of the most daring and unusual TV repairmen in the world. As I always say, you asked for it.
I got dizzy watching that. I can't imagine anything worse than falling from a height like that.
I can.
You can? What would be worse?
Landing.
I do believe you're right. Yes, coming up next, from the mysterious island of Bali, animals who die because the world is out of balance. We'll be back.
And now back to Rich Little.
This is Humphrey Bogart. Here's looking at you, kids. I'm looking at you because you wrote some terrific letters to request things on this show. If you haven't written yet, you must remember this. You asked for the exciting action of faraway places like Casablanca, fascinating people like Fred C. Dobbs. Write to this address. You asked for it, P.O. Box 1980, Hollywood, California, 90028. These animals will all be dead within a few hours. They will perish as sacrifices to demons and will help to restore the balance of divine powers that rule the earth. That is the deep, sincere belief and practice of the people of Bali as they participate in the holiest of all their many religious ceremonies. One creature from each species on the island will give up its life to help purge the world before this ceremony ends. Jack Smith tells us the story because Karen Stevens of House Springs, Missouri, you asked for it.
At the foot of the volcano Gunungagung stands a 1,000-year-old temple. It's surrounded by shrines built and decorated specially for the religious rites so sacred it's rarely observed more than once in a century. The purpose of this 3-day ceremony is to balance the forces of good and evil in the world. According to the Agama Hindu religion of Bali, this balance can be achieved in only one way. The demons of the underworld who are responsible for evil must be appeased. And this can only be done through the ritual of blood sacrifice. During this festival, every living creature upon the island, or that flies in its air or lives in its sea, must give up one of its kind to be sacrificed by the priests. On the third day, the festival reaches its climax. The people march 3 times around the temple, carrying what they will offer up to the gods. In their hands or arms, in crates and boxes, the people bring the sacrificial animals. According to their religion, animals who give their lives in sacrifice will be accorded a higher place when next reincarnated. Every species is represented. In this box, a live crocodile. Thousands of people gather now to add their prayers to the incantations of the priests, who ascend to the holiest altar for the culmination of the ceremony. And now the endless line of sacrificial animals proceeds upward toward the destiny decreed by the gods. Every creature, according to this religion, has its assigned place and role in the world. Some to live, some to die. And some to play the role of the demon-like executioners. To perform this task, the masked priests enter into a trance-like state and become like the very forces of evil they seek to appease. The sacrifice continues unabated throughout the day until the lengthening shadows of evening fall over the scene. The animals are then presented like trays of choice food to satisfy the appetites of countless demons who are summoned now to the feast. And thus the Balinese seek to restore balance and tranquility to a disordered world. And we've seen it because you asked for it.
Even though the customs and beliefs of other people may seem strange to us, they are part of the rich fabric of human life. If we make some effort to understand the beliefs of others, we can help restore that balance, which to the Balinese is the essence of peace.
Rich will be back in a moment with more You Asked For It. And now back to Rich Little.
Thank you. We've run out of time, but thank you for joining us on... Good night, everybody.
This is John Harlan speaking. You Asked For It is a Sandy Frank production.